Hello and welcome back to the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando. We are almost like 2 weeks away from the home opener, Luis. I think it's March, I want to say 14th off the top of my head. So we're getting closer. We got a little bit of news last week. Some things happened in the Orlando Pride world. It's been a slow time, but finally we got some things to talk about. I'm here always with Luis Carlos Pineda, and I want you guys to drop your comments in the chat. Thank you for being here. What's up, Luis?
Well, yeah, thank you to you, John. Everybody watching, make sure you drop your like and subscribe. Well, a beautiful jersey. I think the NWSL is started putting out really nice jerseys. But I think the one that it's been a fan favorite. I think all around the league. It was the Orlando Pride jersey again, coming up on top with a really forward thinking kit, a stunning 2026 Unity kit as a secondary jersey. I think it's beautiful. And we'll discuss all of that today. The preseason scrimmages against Louisville, UF, and Gotham, any transfer news, Pride Player international appearances, and then the News Channel 6 partnership with the Pride. But yeah, as I was saying, this is the kit right here. It's the Unity kit. It's essentially honors 10-year anniversary of the Pole's nightclub tragedy, obviously symbolizing Orlando's strength, togetherness, and unbreakable spirit. Um, I typically am not a guy that likes a lot of the pastel colors, but I think because of what the message entails, I think it just makes it a unique kit. And it actually doesn't look that bad if you think about it. I mean, it's very fashionable, and again, the Pride coming up on top. I know I've seen other podcasts and other content creators that have been heavily praised um, the team for the kit, and saying one of the nicest kits this season. Now, I don't know. For starters, I think that's beautiful, especially the message behind it. It's fantastic. So, what are your thoughts there, John, for this kit? Are you gonna buy it?
I have not bought it yet. I probably will buy it, just not right now. I was at the event last week at the final whistle, so that was great. They had like a nice stage set up in the background. I think I've got some pictures from that. Hold on, let's see. So they did a really nice job of presenting it the right way. It was it was it's cleverly done. I think a lot of the way that they have, clearly this message, right? And that's whenever you have merch, if it speaks to you on an emotional level, like that's like almost some of the best merch you could produce, right? If it's gonna have that connection to the fan where they look at it, they say, "Oh, I gotta have that because it speaks to me," because and this one obviously for me personally hit home. I was there working in the merchandise department for Orlando City and Orlando Pride when this happened and was, the orchestrator working with Adidas and a lot of other people to print all of those Orlando United shirts that you see all the time. So I still think, this is a message that it's something that we still think about to this day. And I think that to do a jersey around it, it's just a really good way to kind of commemorate that. And it makes sense. And it speaks to the right community of the Pride, and it speaks to the Orlando community. And it's, and so often with these jerseys, you just have like whatever they did, right? They just came up with an idea. Like North Carolina, they decided they wanted to put like Venus flytraps all over theirs because it's the North Carolina like venomous plant or something, right? So that that's like such a tenuous link, and it's just like, okay, we're just gonna do something. We just pick something. We're just gonna put it on there. You can do that, but if you do that, you have to do it really well. Better is to have an idea that actually connects, and I think Pride does that really well. Like they did it with the Orange kit, they did it with Luna kit, they did it with so many of their kits that I think speak to the community really well. And this one, it tugs at the heartstrings, but it also is it's a good looking jersey, right? I think it's when you go rainbow and you go all those colors, it can come off like too much sometimes. It can be too bright, I think, for me personally. Like if you go all the bold rainbow colors. I think it's too much. So to pastel it out and to kind of have this, it's almost like a white, like it's an off-white, right? It's kind of like tie-dyed white colors all over it. All with variations there, all in these kind of very light pastel colors. And I think they did a good job of that, where it can be a rainbow jersey, right? It can be a pride jersey, but it's not necessarily, so bright that it's, like the Boston Legacy second kit. Go look at that one. And I think the Unity tag that they put down here, which is, it's called a pride tag, this thing in the bottom corner, which I find ironic. So all the NWSL jerseys, they have this pride tag. And they did this like beautiful like dove thing on it. So I think that was really cool too. I like a lot of the elements of the jersey, the sleeves, the collar. I think they nailed it.
Yeah, they nailed it completely, and the message behind it as well, and what it meant to the city, like you said, and $20,000 of the sales of the jerseys are going to go into the center Orlando. So that's
Okay,
another.
I was wondering if there was a percentage. Alyssa asked me that on the podcast when we were ranking all the jerseys, and I was like, I don't know. Is there a percentage towards the charity?
Yeah, it's $20,000 from sales are going to go to the center. So right now they're available at $199.99, I believe. But again, 20% of that is going to go to the center, and again, it's the pride is always up in. They've had so many great kids, and if you look at some of the other kids of the NWSL, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I saw the Boston one. I like the green Boston one with the TJ Maxx, but the away
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
bro,
that's the one I was talking about. It's so
that
bad.
look that looks ugly, man.
Yeah.
Also the one the worst, I think, and I don't want to be mean, but the freaking Washington one, with all due respect with Haley, but it looks like it's CVS. The team is CVS, like, because you can
There
barely see the crest, but here's the video. Go ahead, John.
and ask there are moments that divide us, moments that alter the rhythm of a city and ask us who we really are, moments that test the soul and reveal who we choose to become. 10 years ago, this city answered, not with silence nor fear, but with love. When the music faded, we chose to keep dancing. We stood not as strangers, but as one heartbeat, one city, one community. A decade later, this legacy is woven into our fabric. This is more than a jersey. It's a tribute to the unity that carries us, to the lives whose light still guides us, to the strength that forges our path forward. As we take the pitch this season, we will remember, and we do so together. Keep dancing, Orlando.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
And
I've heard several outlets, and like you said about, people ranking the jerseys, and
yeah,
a lot of them have said, well, what a great video that they put out with it as well. And I think I think the jersey, the launch of it, the concept, the idea,
they
I got
nailed
no
it.
notes. I think they did a really good job on this, honestly. Really, really good job.
I love the kit. I think the kit, aside of the championship kit, which is gorgeous. I think this one is like, it takes it to a different level, and it's definitely for the players. It's special because, especially if you learn the story behind it and what he means, it makes you kind of rally the troops, to win each game wearing that jersey, right? Um,
And they look good in it too. I think, Angelina,
yeah,
I
it
think
looks
looked pretty good in that, man.
yeah, and compared to, like, again, compared to some of the other jerseys, like the highlighter yellow for Washington, and then the flowers of the CVS, and then you have the 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 Utah Royals one too. That it's kind of ugly. I really like the Chicago Stars one, the one that has the
Oh, really?
stripes. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
just very
funny.
classic. It's just very
It does.
classic.
I said it looks like a lower league. Like,
Yeah, it looks like an
it looks
old
like it's like
school.
yes, it looks like it should be
It looks
on
like
like,
Coventry City or something, like
Gateshead
Coventry
Town or
City.
something in England. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it switched down. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's very old school.
Jovial Town United
Yeah.
for the fifth
Um,
division.
I was gonna say if you haven't done so, I did on my channel with Alyssa on the NWSL
Yeah.
United podcast. We did a ranking of all the jerseys and went through all of them and talked about them. And so if you want to get into all the jersey talk, go there. Which is interesting, Luis, because we didn't rate the Chicago one very highly. So I think jerseys always interest me what people have, different opinions on things they like, things they don't like. They're extremely subjective in that way. But I haven't really seen any negative on this jersey. I don't think I've seen anybody that said they don't like it or whatever.
And I really hope that the message behind it speaks to the players that we see in this picture. Obviously, Bandit's already killing it in preseason. She's scoring a lot of goals. Haley Mace, I mean, no one doubts her resilience and the attitude when she, has the ball on her foot and on her feet. Same with Marta. Hope she comes swinging. Haley McCutcheon. But I do want to see more of Jackie Ovalle and Angelina. I think hopefully the message speaks to them and they have a better season than they did last year, because they're probably gonna need them 100% in this season coming up. No, but two beautiful jerseys. I love
Yeah.
it.
There was a Q&A event there. They asked some questions of Seb and Caitlin. It wasn't really anything. I think there was much to share in terms of like the roster or the squad, or it was, just some nice questions. Nothing really too hardball, let's say, Luis. I was trying to hopefully catch them, but I didn't. I just didn't manage to see them there before they left. So, excited to hear what they've got planned for the season, though, because like you said, Luis, I'm not too sure what's going on with Orlando Pride. It seems at the moment we are like done with business. I mean, we're 2 weeks away. Let's move to talk about the preseason, Luis. As we've talked about in other pods, this is all closed door, right? This is all, you know, um, and they really don't want people to know about anything. We haven't heard anything from Racing Louisville side on the game that was on the 20th. I haven't heard anything from the UF side that they had a game versus them on the 22nd, and then even just yesterday they played Gotham as well in another game. And again, we don't really know much about that in terms of who plays or what the score is, or there's a lot of agreements here between these clubs to not release any of this information. So there is going to be a chance to see Orlando Pride, Luis, before the season actually starts, because I haven't seen this announced by Orlando Pride on their socials or it's not on their website. It's not listed here in the preseason games, but very clearly, Fort Lauderdale United are hosting the NWSL champions down in the Sunshine Showdown. So this is a preseason game that Fort Lauderdale clearly have arranged and are putting on to the public. There's apparently drink specials and a food truck and a kids fun zone and a family 4-pack deals. So there's lots going on. But yeah, it wasn't announced in the original season. I see a Volsat word saying Pride put out the friendly on their IG story the other day. So it has been put out, but it's not. They aren't. They're not really pushing it. I'm not seeing a lot about it. Maybe we'll see more as the week goes on. But yeah, it's not really like hey, we are having a season ticket member game or anything like that. This is hosted by Fort Lauderdale. This is them doing it down at their stadium, which is called Beyond Bankard Field. So if you feel like making the trip this weekend down to Fort Lauderdale, would love to hear what you see down there. Luis and I are just not able to make it down for this game, but if people go down and they want to, report back on what's happening, or, let us know about lineups or any of that, please feel free to do so, because we'd love to know what's going on. It's been so much preseason, Luis, and I just feel like, I don't really have any idea about what Orlando Pride's going to look like. We've heard rumors of games and what happened, but that's just hearsay, right? There's a rumor that we may have beaten Washington in that game, but nobody can verify that to me. So right now, it's just a lot of question marks. And as we build up to the beginning of the season, I think a lot of Orlando Pride fans have just they don't know what's going on. There's a lack of communication. Maybe that's intentional, but hopefully we're going to have some answers this weekend when we can actually see, the players on the field.
I'm gonna say, and not to the, I don't want to like be negative or anything like that. I just think the fans deserve a little more, especially the STMs for the Pride, the ones that the 2,000, 3,000 that always stick around and they want to like come support the Pride and every single game in, game in, game out. The Black Swans, all the supporter groups. This literally Fort Lauderdale United took the idea that we mentioned here on the pod.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You should do a Sunshine Derby. I mean, I said with Tampa, but I mean, Fort Lauderdale United.
But why is the USL club the one that's doing that and not the NWSL club, right?
And not only that, I don't know if you've seen the socials for Fort Lauderdale. They're giving away free posters with that image, and the Pride players. They put Marta Ovalle. They put in Julie Doyle. Like, they're promoting. They're obviously
this is what you do when you're a club that's pushing, Luis, right?
They're giving away like magnets to the fans for Lauderdale. They're giving away like pictures and autographs, and they're going to boy girls clubs and take. And so, guys, there's 2026 is World Cup year. I understand it's men's soccer, but I mean, a lot of eyes for soccer. It didn't really cost much. You have OHP. Do like a little tournament, like, you know what I mean? Like Tampa Bay Sun, Fort Lauderdale United, and maybe another Florida team, Sporting Jacksonville, call it the Florida Showdown or whatever, and with the Pride, and then you get the Pride Cup or the Marta Cup or whatever, and it's eyes to your brand, and you go and grassroots promote it. I mean, I just think that staying quiet, I understand that it could be for tactics, it could be because of maybe revenue, I don't know, but you could sell those. I mean, if it's especially if it's an OHP, the Pride can pack that, they can pack that, they could, make it a whole event, and it's free. It's their land, they rent it already for all the teams, so
I just think, like you said, Luis, like if we're going with the policy of it's closed door preseason and no one's finding anything out, and we're supposed to like, okay, that's the way you want to go, but then don't at the last second be like, oh, but we are going to have a game to the public and it's going to be not a home game, right? I just think for Pride fans, why isn't there a season ticket member game like we have for Orlando City? There should be. There definitely should be. This game that's happening on Saturday should be just like they do for the men's game. It should be a season ticket member game that only season ticket members can come to, and we play whoever, right? Another NWSL team, the USL team, it doesn't matter. But, get those fans in the stadium to show them, use that as the, reward, right? That's part of the season ticket package, and everything that they can do around that to kind of sell people and bring people in. So I just don't, if you're going to like reveal things before the game, right? You keep it all locked up. Why are we doing it to feed the coffers of Fort Lauderdale United? I hope we're getting a good revenue split on this game, Luis, because clearly we're the sellable club here, right? Like, honestly, no offense to Fort Lauderdale, but they don't have any player there that has the appeal of Marta or Banda or anything like that, right? So we're the big dog coming into town, and they're profiting off this. So if you really wanted a closed door season, then why isn't this also a closed door game? Why is this the one that we're saying, okay, let's open it up, but let's do it not at our house? So look, maybe we're being nitpicky, but I think it just doesn't make any sense to me that you suddenly be like, okay, the fans can come, but it's an away game.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the
and again, it wasn't in the preseason announcement, so I don't think they planned this until recently.
Yeah, but obviously Matt Crone is playing in Fort Lauderdale United, so that probably helps.
Maybe that was the deal. Maybe it was like Matt Crone, and we have to get a friendly. She was in the deal there. Do you think that's the case, Luis? Do you think they negotiated a friendly?
Maybe. I mean, I know for a fact since last year, they need. I mean, I saw them at the Tampa Bay Sun game when they played Florida. It
Yeah.
was Ali Wad was there, Julie Dole was there, Shavoshi was there because they know players from Florida United.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's always there a connection. All I'm saying is just we got to think outside the box. I don't know who will be in charge of those decisions, but I mean, I think the fans, and not only the fans, but like for example, you want to just go out to watch soccer, like, and you're like an Orlando City fan, like you want to see the pride, like you live in Kissimmee, like wouldn't it be cool to just go and check it out and make it a whole event? It's just a way of selling the brand. It's just, I mean, we have a star on our crest compared to the men's. Like Orlando Pride has a star on their crest, and we're looking like we are the ones in the USL Super League. You know what I mean? Like,
I just think for equality too, that like everything you're offering with the men's ticket should be offered with the women's ticket, and I just don't understand why we don't have a preseason friendly game for the season ticket members.
100%. And well, I'm looking here, and yeah, they're promoting right here early access to special ticket packs for the Sunshine.
They're really trying to get their
Yeah,
money.
look. I'm gonna share it real quick.
The Pride have posted it a few times, but they're not promoting it, right? They're just kind of reposting Fort Lauderdale stuff.
Yeah, look, early access special ticket packets. You get 4-pack for $99. You get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, 1 parking pass. You got a bucket hat. Look at that.
There you go.
There you go. Like crazy, man. The return of Cosette Morche is back. We'll see. But look, they're ready. Look.
Elite athletes. The kind of football that reminds you why you love this game. This time, we're bringing Orlando Pride into the heat. And this city gets a front row seat. Every touch, every run, every moment fought for. This is where greatness collides. The Sunshine Showdown. Be there or miss history.
You see?
It's history, Luis. We're going to miss history.
4 p.m. on a Saturday.
Prime time.
Unbelievable, man. I mean, we could have done a cup like that, but whatever. Yeah. Now we are going to be playing. Obviously, as you mentioned already. Well, I think we already played Gotham FC. We don't know what happened.
Yeah, that was yesterday. We don't know what happened there.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of these international duties, Luis. So we've got Anna Morehouse once again called up for the Lionesses. So good for you, Anna. She did not play, but she's on the bench. You got Solai Washington getting called up again, of course, for the Reggae Girls. So well done to Solai. Of course, you got U23s. Ali Limos is still getting the call up for the U23s. They've got a camp coming up as well. And then the other one was Jackie Ovalle, of course, Mexican call up, and Luana with the Brazilian call up as well. So internationals are like taking place over the next few days. Luana came off the bench, I believe, in the Costa Rica game. I have to double check that. But I know that she was not in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy for her that she's earning the call up, Obviously, after showing a lot of resilience and form with the Pride coming off the bench. It's exciting, The World Cup is next year, and it's in Brazil. So that's another thing that should motivate Luana and Angelina too. I mean, you guys want to go to the World Cup?
Yeah.
Like, you guys better. Angelina needs to play at the top of her game, this year. So, but it says Ovalle scored today for Mexico against whoever they played. I don't remember of all sad words. So, well, there you go. So,
I saw somewhere that I need to double check this, but I think I saw that the Reggae Girls won like 18-0 or something insane. I have to double check that.
Wow. Really? Wow. 18 nothing. Who did they play? Peru?
I gotta find it. I can't remember where I saw that, but I remember being like, "What?" I think they played some other nation. I gotta say, finding like information on women's international teams is extremely frustrating because there's always like directs you to the men's team, and I'm just like, no. I wanted the women's team.
Yeah, they played Mexico beat Santa Lucia or Saint Lucia 7-0. Oh. In Jackie Ovalle. Yeah, Jackie Ovalle. Incredible. Good for Jackie, man. Yeah, hopefully she starts it in a great way. Now, they're going to be playing Brazil. You know that, right? Mexico's going to be playing Brazil on March 7th. So Jackie is going to be facing Sanerato. So they're going to be playing in Ciudad de los Deportes in Mexico. So in Mexico City. So with all the stuff that's happening in Mexico, hopefully it's a good game. But right now, that's going to be a great game. Hopefully it's on TV. I would love to see that game. Now, Luana versus Jackie Ovalle. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see indeed.
Yep. It says my Blue Sky Fit told me she scored, but I don't see her in her official report, so I don't know now. CONCACAF early qualifying is always something of all sad words. Ovalle scored today for. I already read that. I'm taking the bright line down south. Venues, no bags, so wear cargo shorts if you go. Oh, wow. No bags? Gee. Probably put the Florida Friendly in the IG story the other day. There you go. Thank you. Thank you of all sad words. Not a lot of comments today. But we are about 64 people. So thank you so much for your support. Now, you want to talk about the partnership with Orlando Pride for News Channel 6?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So, Orlando Pride and News Channel 6. I mean, I think it's good because we need more local coverage. I know there's a lot of Orlando Pride fans who like just think there's not enough coverage at all. So I think that's a good thing. I don't know exactly, how much more we're going to get, right? They've announced the partnership. They were going to do the Insider Soccer program kind of already exists, right? So from when I read through this, it didn't seem like there was a lot added here for Orlando Pride. It was just kind of, hey, we've announced a partnership with with News 6. And then in the description, it seems like a lot of the things that they already kind of do. So yeah, I don't think there's anything particularly here. It says as a part of the collaboration, there will be, additional opportunities to get content on its live programming, including in-weather game updates, post-match drive home segments. So maybe there's going to be more. But as of right now, it just kind of seems to me like they announced a partnership with a news station that already just kind of does stuff with us. I don't know.
So are they gonna do it? Are they gonna do a show about the Pride?
It doesn't say anything particularly. I mean, it's just they're just talking about the regular 30-minute soccer insider they already do.
Oh, so they're gonna be talking maybe 2 minutes about the Pride in there.
Yeah, they're gonna do the Orlando Soccer Insider, but that's a split show between the two. There's talk about exclusive features and interviews and in-depth storytelling. There's a lot of ideas in here, but I don't see like a commitment to like, okay, we're gonna put this out and like an acceleration of what we already had, right? I think honestly, it just seems to me a lot of the same stuff with the new six was already doing in partnership with us.
Yeah. It's maybe, trying to keep people, having their. I mean, a lot of the shows are becoming digital now. I don't know how many more people consume cable. I don't have cable at home. I'll be honest with you. So, like, with all due respect, with Channel News 6, it's just, you know, um, there's so much content. Hopefully, I mean, we'll probably a hell of more information, but they're gonna get the exclusives because it's handled by the club. Now, hopefully, it will be nice if it's an equally insightful show, then not just make it a segment of a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is I don't know Orlando Pride fans is going to get anything more out of this, right? It was announced, but as of right now, it seems like business as usual on that deal. Let's talk about the She Believes Cup, Luis. That's coming up. They announced the roster, and I think a lot of Orlando Pride fans were intrigued to see that there was no Emily Sams included in the roster.
I really don't understand. First, she moves out of Orlando. She goes to LA. Then she gets called up. Then she becomes some like a captain, co-captain, or something like that. And then now she's not. Now she got added as an injury replacement player. There you go.
Look, I just think there was a lot of talk about her going to Angel City because it was going to cement her place in the national team, and I don't think that. I think Emma Hayes is always going to be experimenting, right? So I think this idea, unless you're like literally Trinity Rodman or somebody that's like so good that she's going to want to play you all the time, there's going to be rotation, there's going to be changes, things are going to happen. So I think it does seem like Orlando Pride players are more overlooked maybe than other players in the league. But going to another team in the league doesn't mean you're going to get into the women's national team. It just doesn't work that way. If you want to move because your development or you think that you could be better in another club and then that's going to make you better and that's going to get you into the women's national team, sure. But this idea that just going to another club is going to immediately get you what you want, I don't think that's how it works. And I also think that we constantly get overlooked. And I think that really the player that I think should be getting a call up with Emma Hayes doing all his experimenting is Haley McCutcheon. I just don't
100%.
understand. Like if you're giving a chance to an older, very similar player in who's the one who plays for Kansas? I'm blanking now. Veteran, dances a lot. I can't remember her name. But I'm just blanking on her. But everyone in the chat will know who I'm talking about. There's several players in the U.S. Women's National Team who have been given chances or similar level of player, or if not worse players, I think.
DiBernardo?
Haley McCutcheon. DiBernardo. No, not DiBernardo. In the midfield, what's her name? Labonta, thank you.
Lula
I could
Bonta,
not think
yeah.
of Lo Labonta's name for a second. Honestly, I don't think Lo Labonta is really much better than Haley McCutcheon. I don't, and she's older.
100%.
So if we're saying we're gonna give Lo Labonta chances, why doesn't Haley McCutcheon get a chance? The rest of the players, I don't know. I mean, like maybe we could push for Carrie Abello, but she didn't have the best 2025. She's been out with injuries a lot. Outside of that, I don't know who else at the moment we can say on our squad is U.S. Women's National Team worthy. They're going to have to step up, right? Really, it was Emily Sams. I think Haley McCutcheon, though, if Emma Hayes is giving out chances to everybody, why has she never got a shout?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she's been the most consistent player for Orlando Pride in the past few seasons.
She's a very good defensive mid.
She's very good defensively, recuperating the ball, and I just think again, maybe there's. I mean, I don't understand the bias that Orlando Pride gets, and it's not the first year that that happens. I don't know if it's just they don't like the Pride because of well that we're in Florida and Florida is maybe not a democratic state. I don't know if it's politics, if it's they don't like the ownership group that Orlando Pride has. I really don't know.
I don't know.
Is it? I really don't know, and
It's frustrating, but
it is very frustrating.
I would like to see some Orlando Pride players being represented in the U.S. Women's National Team once again. So hopefully, we're going to see some, developments here from some of our women's national team Americans who can, like Ali Lima's still getting called up to the U23s, right? She should be in this pathway of eventually getting called up to the U.S. Women's National Team, but she's got to show it on the field too, right? She needs to be,
100%.
really good in NWSL to get the attention of Emma when you've got so many other, midfield options out there. In terms of the She Believes Cup, it's about to kick off, in 2 days' time. So we're getting pretty close. On March 4th, we play Canada, and then we will play Colombia on the 7th, and then go from there.
Yeah, oh, they're gonna play on my birthday. Probably a good idea to go and watch that game at my local pub. US Women's versus Canada. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah, and then they're gonna be playing Colombia too, which is a very tough team.
Yep.
Belgium, Portugal, and obviously, I think that's the
This
game
is later. This is the friendlies later, and this is the next window. So, but there's going to be, assuming they go through in She Believes Cup, there'll be another game.
Yeah, but the Japan U.S. Women's National Team looks nice. The Japan game against Japan. It says here, I don't still understand her reasoning for leaving the U.S. Women's National Team. Yeah, Labonta, there you go. I didn't watch it. I'm so pissed. U.S. soccer that I skipped going to SBC for the first time in 5 years. Oh wow, you skipped going to the She Believes Cup. Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I hope really Angelina, as well as Ovalle, they have their year. I think if they have their year, and also Abello regains her presence on the wing and starts balling, we need to see her in the national team. Hopefully, the coach is able to make it happen, right? Anything else you want to add, John? You're muted.
My bad. I want to go over the depth chart one last time before we get out of here.
Let's go. Yeah.
Just where we're at in early preseason. So in striker, we're thinking, this is just us, right? Again, we got very little information here. So this is us going off what we think at the moment, based off last season and the formations we were playing and just logically where players could play. Barbara Bandit, striker. You've also got Soleil Washington. You've got Seven Castaigne there as an option as well. Right wing in this 4-3-3, we've got Jackie Ovalle, but you've got Julie Doyle, of course. You've got Nicole Payne, who could play right back or right wing. Marta, of course, could be the left winger in this 4-3-3. Then you've got Summer Yates. Simone Jackson also could potentially be there. You could have Summer Yates in one of these central midfield positions. In the central midfield, we've got Angelina, we've got Viv, we've got Ali Limas, we've got, Luana, we've got Hayden McCutcheon. We've got a lot here to play several defensive mids. I would rather play something a bit more attacking, but if we go this route, we've got decent depth. I think maybe we need one or two more in that position, Luis.
Yeah, I think definitely a left back. We definitely need that, especially so that way we also Bella's not able to play injured or over the knocks, Also, I would love to have another one right below Angelina, so it's able to kind of, go toe to toe with her for the starting spot because she needs more competition. And I think Ali Limos, last season, the second half of the season, she was really good, defending and being important in that midfield. So maybe one versatile midfielder that could play center mid and could play defensive mid, and also a left back that could maybe play left and right, or center or left center back and left back,
Yeah.
could play both.
I think I'd like to see Luana be one of these starters if we're doing a 3.
Yeah.
If she's up to it, if she's ready to go to play 90 minutes. I think she's just looking hungry and ready to get back into action. Left back is my biggest concern. I got to say, like, we could probably survive with the midfielders we have, but left back, I think, maybe Corey's going to play there, and that's what they're thinking. We got other players that could play there. I think we're most likely going to see Haley Mace as one of the center backs. Maybe we're going to do a 3-back thing. That could be an option. And you kind of use Haley Mace as the right-sided of the 3 center backs and kind of do that Emily Sams thing where she could push up a little bit on that right side. I just don't know if we've got the depth to go that many center backs week in, week out. Corey Dyke could play there if we wanted to do that. I think it would be a best use of Carriabello and like Oyane to be your wing backs. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you do 3 in the back, Carriabello and Oyane will be your wing backs, 110%.
Yeah.
Corey can come off the bench for Carrie or for Oyane. I think it'll be Raffaele, Haley Mace, and Shara Shavoshi. Yeah, with Abello and Hernandez, and Oyane. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. That's actually a good idea.
I'm excited to see like Soleil Washington, Seven
100%.
Castain of the new players. I really want to see them. And I'm excited for Simone Jackson. I think she's going to take another step up this year. I want to see some of these young players of ours in the squad pushing to be like, no, I need to be a starter. Like, I'm good enough to push it, whatever position it is, right? Someone like the objective of the Orlando Pride players to be so good that they push Martha out of the squad. And they might not think that way, but that's the mentality you have to have, right? Like, if I'm competing with the other players in my position, like Julie Doyle, like, she needs to be competing to like, how am I going to get my right wing spot back, right? And that's what we had in 24, and that's why we were so successful. We need that same level of hunger and drive, and we need the young players to push the older players, and we need the older players to lead by example. So I'm excited for the season, Luis. Next week we'll do all of our season predictions, and we'll preview that first game.
Yeah,
and
I'm
we'll
excited.
Hopefully have some information on the Fort Lauderdale game.
Yeah, I'm excited for the season, and there was a lot of players that were not as consistent last season. Then again, the whole trick of the championship and how it became a statement, not only for the league but also for the city of Orlando, is because every single player was very consistent in their performances, game in, game out, and we need to see that, especially from the players that the club is paying a lot of money for. Like, you're talking about Anna Morehouse re-signing, talking about the DPs, or the designated player, but like the big signings, the hip rule
players.
Yeah, so Barbara Banda, Jackie Ovalle, we need to see Angelina, definitely Angelina, especially because World Cup year is coming. So this Pride season, everybody should be playing for club and country, balling out. It's same for the Americans, for Corey Dyke, for Shavoshi when she has the chances to start. Now that Sams
big
is not
season
there.
for Shavoshi. She's got to step up.
Exactly, for Canada. So
yeah,
hopefully we get a lot more out of these players.
Yeah, like I love Rafaeli, but she's had a lot of injury problems. So I expect Haley Mason, Zara Shavoshi to be our kind of 2 center backs a lot of this season.
Yeah, and maybe we have another good young center back that's gonna, unfortunately leave us for for a better team after a masterful
Right?
season, right?
Who's going to step
Um,
up?
who's gonna step up? Exactly. Everybody needs to step up, and also if everybody steps up on their roles, it's gonna be make it easier for Banda and to score more goals, to prevent injuries. And I do want to tell you guys, we need a. I don't think this club is regressing. I just think this club needs to the pieces that deem to be the least experienced need to get to the level that now they've been playing for the club for 1 or 2 seasons.
Hmm.
They need to demonstrate that that they're playing for the badge, and
Yeah.
they need to kill each individual game.
Yeah. I mean, I think so far I'm willing to just accept that, Caitlin Carducci has not been here very long and she's figuring stuff out. But I am very aware that we have not really made any moves
Any
this
moves, yeah.
we've brought in we've let go of players and we've replaced them with rookie signings, which could be great, right? At NWSL, some rookie signings hit the ground and they're awesome and they're incredible, right? Um, I think we're putting a lot of stock in that, right? I think that there's a lot of hope that Barbara's going to have the same year that she had in 24. There's a lot of hope that Jackie Ovalle is going to really step up. There's a lot of hope that, Marta's going to be influential and be able to play at 40 years old, like all the time. So I just think that we are relying on a lot of things going our way from 2 or 3 key players that maybe we need to be looking to go out and get some more significant first team signings that are going to help us, right? And they're going to we need to go out there and keep up with your, Kansas Cities and with your Washingtons and, even San Diego Wave are making a lot of moves this offseason. They just got Gabby, was it Gabby Portillo? They just got, yeah, they just got her. And so there's like clubs in the league that are making a lot of moves. Like Denver, they made a lot of moves. Like they're a new expansion team, but on paper they got a pretty good looking team.
They're
So
a really, really good team.
I think that for us to really only sign rookie players and just rely on that, it's a risky move this season if we want to maintain our heights, right? And I think that Luis is saying that we can't at this point say we're taking a step back, but we haven't improved as far as you can see, right? The roster has really just you switched out lower end roster pieces for other lower end roster pieces. I don't think we solved some of the issues that we had last year in being creating. Like who's gonna if Marta's not on the field, who is our creative player, right? Who's the one that's driving this attack? There's just still a lot of questions, and I think signing 1 or 2 players would help make the Pride fans feel a little bit more comfortable about this ceiling.
Summer Yates, Angelina, these are players that in 2024 became so important for the Pride. Coming off the bench, or even like starting for Angelina, we need to see them go back to that. If we're not gonna, I mean, no one's denying the quality of the squad, and I do want to be
we're relying on it getting back to where it was,
right? And I think this is the second season now that we're saying, okay, we're going to rely on them getting better. I think fans now are going to be like heavily judging also how the performance is going to go because we haven't signed nobody. And again, I know that Haley Carter signed a lot of them until 2026, 2027. Maybe they're waiting for that to clean slate, maybe. I'm just saying it's, a championship now is expected. That's the fun thing about the double. Now the fans want more, now, and we'll see what happens. But definitely, I would like to see an improvement in attitude for some of the players.
Well, I think that's everything we got to talk about, Luis. We're getting closer to this opening game.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Next week, like I said, we'll talk predictions and all that stuff as the season will just be a few days away.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to add, John, before we go?
No, you guys are great. And as always, Vamos
Vamos
Pride.
Pride. Have a good one,
See you
guys.
next
Thank
time.
you.
Oh,